here with you this morning at the offices of the Cross-Cultural Healthcare Program. And I'd like to introduce first Paulina Benania, the Executive Director of Cross-Cultural, to welcome you to the offices.
Hello everybody, we're here with our masks on. I just want to welcome everybody to the offices of CCHCP here in Seattle. And we just want to say I'm here with Thomas. It's a real honor to be hosting the Language Access Champion Award today. So welcome. Without further ado, back to Cindy.
And I want to bring on the person whom we are honoring today, and with great, very, very well-deserved. I want you to know this is Ira SenGupta, who, wow, she's had so many different roles in this field over the past 30 years. Plus. Has it been that long? Oh my goodness. And Ira and I have known each other since the early 1990s here at the Cross-Cultural Healthcare Program at first. I wanted to say just a very few words about Ira before we go to a video that we have received input from people all over the country about their experiences with Ira. But I want to say a few words first. I thought about just reading Ira's biography, but you know what? You can all go read Ira's biography, because that does not capture Ira SenGupta. I want to tell you a story that I think captures Ira SenGupta. And this is the story the way I remember it, the way it was told to me many years ago, so please forgive me if I mess up any details. But those of you who know Ira will really appreciate this. This is when Ira, many, many, many years ago, was volunteering at her daughter's school, and she was working, she was directing a play at the school. And as she was walking in one morning to the school to do her work with the school, dressed as she always is in her beautiful saris, one of the kids in one of the waiting school buses yelled out to her something like, "Why are you here? Go back to India."
Go back to India. I just wanted to share a little detail that was, I have to, but that was St. Patrick's Day, and I have an Irish Catholic overlay on my cultural background, because I went to an Irish Catholic college, and so in India, and so I was wearing my customary green, Kelly green, feeling very Irish. Suddenly this, "Go back to India," and I said, who could have said that to? And realized it was me.
How could you have said that? That's typical. And so, what would most people have done? Ignored it? Felt hurt? What did Ira do? Ira marched onto that school bus and said, "Who said that?" Now, when she found out who said it, I'm sure that those young men who she promptly marched into the principal's office, you can just imagine Ira marching those young men into the office, and I'm sure they thought they were going to get in big trouble. So it must have been an amazing experience for them to walk out finding that they had committed to working on the stage crew
Yes.
of the show. And by the end of the show, it was not "Go back to India," it was, "Hey, Mrs. S, how you doing?"
Absolutely.
And to me, this epitomizes Ira, who is truly a champion, because a champion doesn't give up. A champion doesn't take things personally, get offended, and go home. And this is, Ira's entire career has been about reaching out to people, reaching out to teach, reaching out to engage, never feeling put down, but instead feeling that she had the power to raise people up. And this is why we honor Ira as a language access champion, because over 30 years, how many of you have been touched by the work of Ira SenGupta? So many. So the moment has come for us to recognize this incredible woman and the many decades of dedication and passion to social justice, to equity, to diversity, to language access. From all of us at the National Council on Interpreting in Healthcare, we honor you, Ira.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Cindy.
Now it's time for a few words from you. Oh, look, should we open this?
Oh, yeah. Well, I could use some help with my hands shaking. I'm so overwhelmed. Oh, and there's the pin that I've always wanted. It's just beautiful. Thank you. First, I have to show you what it looks like. And then you're opening it with me, right? Everybody? Because this is your award, as you will soon find out. So I'm going to slip this. Yeah. In the interest of time. But nevertheless, it's wonderful. Thank you. And you should open it this way. Oh, beautiful. Now, look at this first. Can you see it? Can I come closer? So you show you? Not too close. Thank you. Oh, how beautiful.
And it reads, the National Council on Interpreting in Healthcare presents the Language Access Champion Award to Ira SenGupta for significant achievements towards promoting language access in healthcare. April 10, 2021.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this great honor that I share with all of you, because you are the real champions. So just a few words and then we'll move on. And I love the video. Thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who spoke on that video, because nothing could be more priceless than your words. And the pioneers still present, holding up the field and advancing it, as are all of you at this conference. So I have a few words and I'm just going to share that with you. So first of all, I'm going to read from this because I finished writing this under duress at a late hour. And the duress came from my son, who I had corrected, and now he sat there and corrected me on how I should write this and how I should deliver it. So I'll try to do the best. But from my heart I speak. Again, thank you so much for this great honor. And I'm proud to join you and others who have received the same honor in years past. Today I accept this for all of you who work tirelessly for equal access wherever and whenever the needs of our communities emerge. You are the true champions. Thank you. I'm fortunate to have worked with pioneers in our field. Nearly 40 years ago, something maybe? Yes, nearly 40 years ago, when we first started, we could count the number of leaders in language access on our fingers. We met in Seattle, and interpreters in language access managers recounted the inequities that patients face in accessing health care. For example, I was called to interpret at a major public health hospital. I asked for the patient's language, which made sense. The scheduler's irritated answer was Hindu or something. I couldn't resist it. I said, that's a religion. Which of the 19 different languages and 4,000 dialects that are spoken in India does this patient speak? She ended the conversation with, oh, don't be difficult, just come. I did to help in whatever way I could. On meeting with her, the patient, I realized she spoke Tamil, and I didn't. But seeing a friendly face in similar attire, she looked relieved. We managed a conversation, trust of a certain kind was established, and some information exchanged in another language that she didn't speak that well. Hindi. But an interpreting session of today, it was not. It was clear to all of us in the then slowly growing field that sea changes had to be made. The initial efforts gathered speed, and with your dedication, the profession of medical interpreting emerged. Over the last 25 years, our work together has resulted in standards of practice, training, and certification. This was possible because we came together in the spirit of common purpose and shared vision. The 2021 AMS programming shows the growth in the diversity of topics. Presentations and presenters reflect the needs of the community, of the communities in jeopardy. Thank you, NCIHC, for bringing us together. I want to thank all of the attendees. Your fresh thinking brightened our conversations and inspired us all. You are the strength, the brain, and the muscle of the movement, this movement, to mitigate trauma, sharpen the strategies for language access, and establish social justice as the norm in healthcare. Thank you so very, very much.
Thank you, Ira.
Yes, Cindy.
Yeah, we would hug, except it's COVID.
That's right.
So,
Yes.
anyway, back to you, Jorge, and thank you for this wonderful opportunity to honor somebody that deserves so much this honor. Over to you, Jorge.